Going live in a moment. Come on. There we go. And it's still spinning up, at least for me. There we go. Giving it a minute. Alright, so hey, it is Throwback Thursday, and I have come across this item, which is a Sinclair ZX81 computer from, I believe, a year called Back in the Day. And it's a pretty marvelous machine that was originally in competition with to become something like the BBC Micro. This thing has 1 kilobyte of RAM on board, and this other device here is a 16 kilobyte RAM expansion, which plugs into this thingy back here. And I don't have a TV to hook this up to, so we're just gonna have to pretend and look at some YouTube videos. But yeah, ooh, what does it say on here? FCC identification data. Cool. And it's got the Sinclair logo. Made in England. This was made in Britain. You've got a TV out, and some earphones, microphone, and 9 volts in. Pardon me, by the way, I've still got kind of a cold, so I'm a little bit mumbly. But at least we have sound, yay! That's been such an issue. I'm really interested in this little keyboard. Apparently each of these buttons had up to like 5 functions, and you can see that they have these different markings, so you could change which one you were using based on the shift key. There's a function key as well that you could combine with the other ones. So let's take a look at what's online about this thing. First up, we have the Wikipedia page, which is fascinating. Like, this is a huge hole you can easily lose yourself in for an afternoon. I have refrained from going all the way on this, so I'm going to leave you some tidbits to figure out if you go and read the article yourself. But yeah, this is an update to the ZX80 previous model, which was quite similar, except that this one was designed to be as slimmed down as possible, so they used as few components as possible, using 4 chips where other people use 40, and that drastically lowered the cost, for one thing. So, actually, where's the BBC? No, that's not the one. Here we go. The BBC Micro Affair. Pardon. So the government was talking about releasing recommended computers for getting started in computing, including the BBC Micro, which was built by Acorn, a competitor, which apparently wasn't as cool. And so these folks ended up cutting their prices in half to £90 for a whole assembly, including a printer, and that was pretty popular with schools. This thing in general was very popular. It sold more than 1.5 million units before being discontinued, and there's a whole Wikipedia page, a whole separate page of clones for this device because of how popular it was. I really want to see this thing though, the TK83, because apparently it was gold. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can find this real quick, because I think that would be neat. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness. Wow. See that? That is baller. The Micro Digital TK83 personal computer. I used to have a word for this. I called things Casio punk, and this is an aesthetic that I love. It's so good. I grew up with like Amiga computers and stuff, and so I have a huge appreciation for this aesthetic. Other cool stuff, it used cassette tapes to store programs on it. So you could buy programs on cassettes and also store them. So, pardon. And that's how you saved and loaded data over the ear and mic jacks there. And there was a, oh no, where's the thing I was reading before? It turned out that, like, so these sort of technologically obsolete by this point mono cassette recorders and playback machines were really useful for this, and so W.H. Smith's popular department store bought up a ton of those, rebranded them as with their own branding, and sold them like over 100,000 of them because they were able to rebrand them as tape storage for the Sinclair ZX81, which is an interesting second life for that technology. And of course, they made a ton of money because those were obsolete, so they were for audio recording, and so they were really cheap. Yeah. So, what else we got here? The Computer Program was the TV show that the BBC was going to start doing to get people into computing. And the reason why the BBC Micro was produced, which is a predecessor, spiritually, to the BBC Micro Bit, which is this device that now... Oh, I'm going to grab one. BBC Microbit. It's the microcontroller for kids to learn programming. Oh, why is this changing the format? Terrible. Anyway, we're still on basically the same article. Yeah, so this is the Microbit, which has this 5x5 pixel display. Tons of programming options, A and B buttons to push, and super expandable. It's got an accelerometer, it's got a temperature sensor, it's got radio, Bluetooth low energy, it's got a compass, and then these little pins that are friendly to beginners and grown-ups alike. I mean, grown-ups can be beginners. Beginners and advanced technical humans alike. Yeah, so here's a ZX81 article linked under this video, and the computer program, which we were talking about. Here is the golden TK83, which is amazing. In case for some reason it's switched out of that. I need to fix my broadcast software, I think. And the BBC Micro. So I hunted up a couple of videos of people using this. Here's one where they're plugging in this stuff and you can see it on the screen. Oh wow. As you can see, it took a little bit of a while to load stuff up on it. There's a cassette player that's being used with it. Pardon. And here's the actual Frogger program running. How amazing is that? It's pretty amazing. We can both just agree on that. Look at it! Your frog is a little X on the screen. It's all ASCII art, you know? It's oh no, your little X died. So cool. I love this. Oh, I love it. Oh, and then there's another one. Look at this. Helicopter 3000. There are museums all over the world, by the way, that preserve things like this, so you can actually go and play games like this in the modern era. Oh man, so cool. Here's another one where they sort of show a little bit of the typing. Well, I guess mainly he's just like waving his finger around over the keyboard, but in a second, this is Computer File. He's gonna talk about or show how to program. Yeah, see? And he's pretty fast at this, but also there was a way to type whole functions with a single key using those key combos I talked about earlier. So, and look at these official cassettes there. Lunar Landing 21, Combat, and then other programs they have on that cassette tape. Wow. Yeah, so go check out that on Computer File if you're curious. It's a good week for vintage computing. Eben Upton released a small demo as his first Amiga game in 24 years for ease of use, etc. You can read this for yourself, but he has released the source tarball online, so you can go grab that. It's on Twitter. Just go to Eben Upton. So rad. And also, you can check out last week's interview with Emily Velasco. I guess it was a couple weeks ago now, but she talked about this Lissa jukebox machine that she built. Where did it go? I probably should have pulled up the actual video on her channel. Wait, it's in the description. Ha! We always put the links in the descriptions of the video, so check this out. But you can see the whole interview with Emily on our channel. Look at this gorgeous thing. So this takes composite video and it's basically an adaptation of a CRT or cathode ray tube monitor, which I think was originally used for a security camera. So you could, in theory, I think, combine these two things and put the output of the Sinclair ZX81 onto the Alyssa jukebox. Who knows? Okay, so that's part A, all about the ZX81 that we have here. Which I wish I could get hooked up to something right now, but I can't, sadly. But another piece of Sinclair technology that I have loved for a long time is the Sinclair C5. It's an old electric vehicle from 1985. And it's like halfway between, it's not a car. Like, the inventor Clive Sinclair was very emphatic about that. And it's not a bicycle, it's in between, and it has sort of the worst aspects of both. Like, it's bigger than a bike, but you don't have any shielding from the weather, and it's very low to the ground. It is street legal as a motorized machine, and it's in that perfect space where it really doesn't fit anyone's needs. Sort of like a scooter, but not. Like, you've got no storage. If you're curious about it, they've done a teardown on EEV Blog's video channel. You can see, okay. The coolest thing about this, though, or possibly the nerdiest, I don't know, best, worst, you choose, is that you have to drive it using handlebars that are located under your knees. So, where's a thing of him driving it? I think it's over here at the end of the video. No, get back in. You're not done yet. Oh, they're taking it on sidewalks as well. Wait, do they have two of them? I'm so jealous. But yeah, look, they show the internals. This is the back of the vehicle behind the seat where the motors are located. It apparently was just, it didn't have good performance or range. Its top speed was 15 miles an hour, which is a quarter of as fast as an electric skateboard that I saw recently, which is terrifying in its own right. But yeah, gotta see someone driving this around. If you're curious, beyond the teardown that's visually done here, there's a whole, I think they linked to a whole schematic showing the C5 wiring diagrams and schematics. This page, you can pull up all the electronic information. I love how old vehicles, like we had a DeLorean once that we brought on a hackathon tour around the US. And it came with this magnificently beautiful binder full of diagrams and like solutions for how to fix it, and like this whole huge poster showing the entire electrical schematic of the car. It was beautiful. And you just don't get that anymore. Oh man, I've become the kind of person who says you just don't get that anymore. I wasn't even alive when that thing was made. but it's gorgeous. That doesn't mean I can't appreciate it. I definitely do appreciate the C5. This is actually a really embarrassing picture of me from a few years ago, getting really excited in the Swindon's Computer History Museum in Swindon, England, where they have a hackathon, or a hackerspace. And Simon Webb, who runs, or at least at the time ran the hackerspace, is super cool, and let me sit in this Sinclair C5, and you can see where your hands are underneath your legs. That's where the handlebars are. That's where you steer. It's ridiculous. And you can also see my weird long brown hair. Whoa! So my favorite video to come out of this particular online exploration is the Hack by Colin Furs. This takes a special mind. Oh, what I wouldn't give to ride this thing. Not this version. This version is cool, and I would love to ride it. Again, it's street legal, which is ridiculous. But where does it actually show it being used? You turn it into a monster truck. Oh, come on, show us the thing. Oh my goodness. I want this so bad. Imagine Imagine driving around San Francisco in this thing. I'm crying. It's beautiful. Oh, it shoots fire? No way. Not fair. Oh, wow. That is a masterpiece. Anyway, this video ends in a state of extreme jealousy. I would give my left arm to ride this thing. It's ridiculous. Hopefully at some point I'm going to be able to get the ZX one actually hooked up to a TV or something. And we can give it a go, and I can learn how to beep boop on it, because it looks like it's a little bit complicated to beep boop on. The weird thing is it reminds me of a robot that I learned to program a little bit on when I was in elementary school. There was like a little robot that looked a lot like this, that had little buttons on it, and you would just push like left, right, up, down, go, stop, and stuff like that. But I can't find, like, my Google Foo is weak here. I can't figure out what it was called or like find any pictures. It looked a lot like this, and I have a feeling that contributed a lot to my love of Casio Punk. Maybe I'll have to rename it Sinclair Punk now, I don't know. But like, Casio, Timex, Sinclair, they were all producing these really just gloriously mid-80s technological styles, and I dig it. What does it say back here? Yeah, just general info. I don't want to take it apart, so I'm not gonna, because it's too cool for that. But go check it out. You can see people, I'm sure someone's posted a teardown of this thing. Check out the ZX81, check out Terry Stewart and Computer File, and go check out Evan Upton's Amiga game. That looks super fun. Go check out the Lissa Jukebox in our interview from a couple weeks ago. That's with Emily Velasco. Probably saying that wrong. The Sinclair C5, which is just amazing. And go look at the EEV blog Teardown and Test Drive, and Colin Furz's. I'm so mad that this exists and I'll probably never get to write it. Oh man. What? It's not fair. It's not fair. I'll catch y'all tomorrow, I guess. Have an awesome rest of your Throwback Thursday, and I'll see you soon. Ciao.